It's been days since the deaths of Yin and Zhou, until one day, Oro and Ru decided to go visit the grave sword of Zhou. The gang were more than happy to let them see them. As Oro and Ru gave their respects to Yin and mostly Zhou, something happened. She broke down in front of the sword, saying how much she missed him. And then out of nowhere, she pulls the sword off the ground. A large shockwave surrounded the entire island. The gang knew about this and hurried back, but it was too late. As Oro got out from the shockwave, she saw that Ru was fine, but something different was from her. As the gang finally arrived to check on them, it was too late. Ru and Zhou bonded. Gets up. She noticed that she felt something strong within her. How she was much more faster, much more powerful. Then she's able to hear Zhou in the background. He's shocked at first, but then relieved. But Zhou and Oro and most of the gang are confused of what just happened. Cyan explains what the sword had done and what the consequences were for pulling it out. Also says that now Ru and Zhou have to share the body of Ru, and how this could be permanent. But the good side is that their powers fuse together as well, so that means more strength, more power, and yeah. As Zhou is literally processing what just happened to him, Ru is just relieved that Zhou is back. Would this change the way that Oro and Ru and even Zhou live? Now they had a chance to save Zhou. They thought maybe they could save Yin as well. But one person had to volunteer to take off the sword. I'll do it. Yin's older brother, Yang, volunteers to pull out the sword. Yang prepare themselves for another shockwave that's about to happen. Yang prepares to take out the sword and takes it out. And shockwave pulls the rest of the gang out of the way. There's a moment of silence until Yang gets up, unharmed. Yin's voice is heard throughout Yang's head. He tells the group that it worked. Now we have two grave swords wielders, Ru and Yang. Take some time for Cyan to work on this, but these two have returned. On the way to find more materials to save Yin and Zhou, Cyan runs into the Colosseum, only to find the pirates have returned. They stayed in the Colosseum as their home and fought anyone who stood in their way, but as Cyan looks at these OCs, they notice that they're from a different dimension, a different reality, and this couldn't be well. Cyan had to step up and save them, help them defeat the pirates, and let them escape the Colosseum. Luckily, the pirates were defeated, and they all escaped. But after taking them back to Tomodachi Island, she now realized that it was under attack by two duos. These duos wore the same helmet, and they dubbed themselves the Dragons. But with the help of Ivory, Cyan was able to detain them. The blue-haired guide said that he was just trying to stop it before it all happened again. The future that they tell them is very desolate and filled with fear and no hope. A future that has nothing. Just a blinding light. And that's it. Nothing. They were able to escape just in mere seconds from ultimate devastation. As each piece is important to revive Yin and Zhou, Cyan risks her life collecting these materials to save them, even if it might kill her. Luckily, she did bring Yin back up after fighting Kirby, knowing that she can't do this alone. After collecting all of the materials she needed, she thought that she was done, until she got an urgent news that Princess Peach's castle was being attacked. So she brought Marn and Ivory to investigate. Their horror It was Sephiroth that was attacking the castle. During the fighting, they were too late to notice that Sephiroth had planned a bombing on the castle. Unfortunately, he was successful. 3 had to evacuate, which mean that they had to let Sephiroth go. I knew that this was bad. The gang went back. Time ticked for everyone. Time ticks. Soon everything shall go into place. Battle shall soon decide the fate of everyone. The gang get news that a castle is being under siege. With Jurley along, they found out that Sephiroth actually planned the siege as well. He also recruited 2 clones to destroy the castle with him. Fought outside and inside. Sephiroth fled to a different planet where the gang found him there. The group fought him, but this would be a fight that they would never forget. Jurley was killed. He fled, but Cyan chased after him. She needed to finish him, or things could get worse, but she couldn't all alone. With all the hard work paid off, Finn and Joe are back from the dead. It could be their chance to outmatch Sephiroth and kill him once and for all. Sephiroth tries to make a last-ditch effort to destroy them, but for some reason, he vanished. The purple smoke. They won, but the story hasn't even ended. To finish something, you gotta do it yourself. He says after releasing 2 Sephiroths. After the fight, Cyan warned literally everyone that she was behind it all. Then showed her true colors in the Colosseum. He was quickly halted by Kami and Yang, for they wanted revenge, betrayal, and for the death of Jurley. Constant changing, she decided to spawn in old threats that constantly went after the group. During this fight, she decided to flee from this fight, as she wanted to live to conquer everything. She trained to Hyrule, only to find one person stopping her, and that was Hero. She transformed into Hero to make this into a fair fight. This fight felt like it took hours, but in mere seconds, Hero stabbed the traitor, and she exploded, leaving nothing behind. Bittersweet victory. As Jurley wakes up, she notices that she's not with her friends, that she's alone. Then, in his human form, CJ greets her, along with Rue and Oro, to tell her that she's passed. Out of the blue, clones appear out of nowhere, and they seem more stronger. But these clones are like guardians. The 4 fight these guardians, and, well, they don't win, but they let Jurley see Earth one last time. Arriving, she sees that her last opponent is me. With pure determination from each other, we fought until she won. Even though she won, she had to go back to the afterlife. Back in Tomodachi Island, her friends mourned her death, and Hero was devastated. But in the end, they've won.